Right, here we are on day 2 of our motorcycle trip in southern Yunnan. Big Eth is on the Honda 400X, our tour guide Jar is on a 300 GY Rally, and I'm on a Cove 500X. As we set off, I tried to push the memories of waking up with a rat on my chest to the deepest, darkest recesses of my mind. That wasn't too tricky because the views and landscape were just as spectacular as yesterday, picking right up from where we left off. Now we're heading across to the corner of the lake to the main road out of this area, but straight away we pulled over to enjoy the sunrise. A fiery sun bursting through a cloud bank, spreading its majestic rays across the glinting water surface of Lake Lugu. Yeah, a nice place to ride, basically. We got away from there, and pretty quickly, Ethan got lost. He was riding last and somehow disappeared. On our way to try and find him, I realised I was getting pretty happy and comfortable with the bike, which was great.
For going on it, I also kept wanting to stop, but I would get on a sunny.
He made up some nonsense excuse as to why he didn't stop for about 18 kilometres, but it was clearly because he'd just been enjoying the ride. And how could you not riding through this landscape? We were up at about 4,000 metres elevation almost at this stage, and you're actually looking down at the clouds while you're riding along. Somewhat akin to looking out of a plane window. And, yeah, just every single moment, it was like riding through a picture-perfect postcard. Everywhere you pointed your eyes, every time you stopped, every corner you went round, it was just a veritable, delectable delight, a feast for the eyes. And it wasn't just the views that were great. The road itself was amazing. Sometimes smooth, sometimes rough, sometimes up, sometimes down, but always with plenty of twists and turns. And that's just so engaging. And you're enjoying the road. You could enjoy the road in isolation, but look at where it is. Turns out Ethan is a puddle inspector, and he saw one that he couldn't resist inspecting with his face. Pretty soon we stopped again to get another view, but I was very rudely interrupted, photo-bombed by this pig and her piglets. Look at the last one. I like the last one. Watch him. What are you looking at? You looking at me, son? You best not. I'm out of here. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like, every facet of this trip was great. The road, the clouds, the bikes, the company, the plants, the air, the food, the accommodation, just everything. We got onto a real ropey road. This is the road down to Haba Stone Village, where we would be staying that night. And the road is under construction. They're upgrading it, which means they're blasting at certain times of the day, so you're not allowed through. And when they do open it up, it gets real busy. So this super narrow road is made even narrower by gigantic trucks. And you hope to dear God your head doesn't get squished under one of the wheels while you're passing. But when you get past the construction, you see what they're trying to do to the road, and oh my, it's worth it. I think the whole time we spent in this valley, Ethan and I, it became a joke how often we just said, "Whoa, this valley, this view, that mountain." We just couldn't find the time to say anything else because it was so overwhelming. And despite Goatmageddon there, we made our way down. You will notice we're going downhill now because the village is near the river level, so we've got to head down. Anyway, I flew the drone back to where I'd parked, packed it away, and set off. The best thing about stopping to fly the drone, you get to play catch up. And rasping the nuts off the 500X is extremely fun. Obviously that bike's not really made for it, and it is perfectly adapted to this. Comfortably cruising through with everything you need for a multi-day trip. Anyway, you can see we're getting down into the valley now, so we'll probably pull over at any point and have one last look at where we're going to stay tonight. And there it is, the two strips of buildings on the left there. You can see the car park up at the top, and then you've got to walk through the village. We stayed in the middle of the cluster on the right there somewhere. And why is it called Stone Village, David? I think you'll find this video explains it, because it's made out of ruddy stones. And this is the main thoroughfare. This is the largest road. Everything's brought in by person or by horse. Anyway, this fellow welcomed us to our accommodation, and the hostess cooked up a right meal. Ethan confidently predicted no rain for the night, and that we'd be able to go and see the old ladies dancing in the square. He was wrong, because 20 minutes later, the heaviest rainstorm you've ever seen in your life rolled in. Tried to shut up shop as best I could, and settle for a night indoors. Put down your electronic devices and get yourself on a bike trip in Yunnan. Ta-da!